Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
This is Mr. Enfuego, one half of the Baseball Junkies podcast. Before we get the show going, we just want to make sure that both you, the viewer, and the listener are fully aware that this podcast is not intended to provide any form of investment advice. The opinions expressed here by either the host or any guest do not necessarily reflect the views of any sports card investor, organization, and or entity within the sports card market. Any discussion of sports card values in the past or present is not a guarantee of future performance. Two collectors with a common love of baseball cards. A league of her own, Mr. Enfuego. Welcome to the Baseball Junkies podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to the Baseball Junkies podcast. I'm your host, Adrian from A League of Her Own on YouTube.
And I'm your boy, Mr. Enfuego.
Thank you guys so much for being here with us today. We've got quite the show today. Lots of stuff to go over. I'm going to get right into it, unless you got a little something for the crowd today, Mr. Enfuego.
Real quick before we get into the news, you remember when I was saying that I had a surprise announcement that you don't even know?
Yeah. You going to share? You ready to share?
I'm going to share it. So our very own Adrian became a celebrity according to Steel City.
Oh, snap. Yeah.
If you all go into Instagram and pull up Steel City Collectibles page, they took her short and promoted it on their profile.
Yeah, thank you, Battle. I appreciate that. I didn't know if y'all were gonna see that. That it was a little short last pack magic of the Bowman Sapphire video I did earlier this week, and I bought that Bowman Sapphire box from Steel City Collectibles with my MVP buyback money, by the way. So that was super cool. And yeah, they shared it, and that's when you're doing this whole card game, it's kind of fun when that happens. So awesome, thank you, Battle. Appreciate that.
To me, that is what a true hobby influencer represents. They're not looking for any type of incentive for whatever card they're pulling. It's just the joy of the pull. That's all it is.
Super cool. Super cool. I love that too, because at the very beginning, I was doing my little last pack magic thing, and I've got my little lucky charm things that my niece gave me. And so, when your niece sees you up on YouTube like that, they thinks Auntie is cool cat. So, all right, you guys, thank you, Battle. Appreciate that. All right, let's get to this podcast. We got some things. All right, guys, upcoming releases. Nothing too new, but one big new thing. Real quick, the old news. We got on the 17th this week, Bowman's Best is coming out. Those hobby boxes are about $295 to $300. Not going to go too much more into that. We've discussed it thoroughly in the last few episodes. Also on the 24th, Panini Flawless is coming out. That's a big boy, expensive one. It's $2,250-ish on your third-party sites right now. That is a one-pack 10-card box. Comes 7 autos, 2 mems, and 1 gemstone card coming in that. So, $2,000 a box. A case of that is 2 boxes. You're looking a little over $4,000. And then also on the 24th, a little bit more affordable and to me more exciting, 2023 Stadium Club. I hope I said 2023 for everything today, not accidentally 2024. Just in case I did. This is all 2023 products. Stadium Club. The hobby boxes of those are about $130. The compact boxes are about $70. The difference, more cards in the hobby, 2 autos. The compact, a little less cards, 1 auto. All right. Our big thing I want to discuss today, Topps 2024 Series 1. As you guys know, it's not coming out until February 14th. However, Topps announced today via email, via on Instagram, all of their socials. They're doing a pre-order of this product on the 16th. So that's 3 days from now, January 16th at 12 p.m. Eastern. Pre-order for Series 1 is coming up. And then they also busted out with the checklist. And I studied that today, and I am pumped about it. My first things I went through and I always look for is I wanted to see what rookies were going to be on there. Pleasantly not surprised. I'm glad that Ellie De La Cruz made it to this list. There's always a possibility they hold them over. Jason Dominguez. I don't know why I wasn't expecting him on the list. I know he did come up last year. I didn't think he was up long enough. And I thought that was something I thought if he comes back, which he probably will at the beginning of this baseball season, that he would be a Series 2, but he is on Series 1. So that was exciting to me. My A's, there's a couple of sneaky good rookies in there. I know nobody's going to think about, but they had great starts. We had Zach Geloff, and the other one is fading from my memory right now, but I am going to bring up on the screen those of you that are here with us live on YouTube. Appreciate you. And then do my best to let you all know in podcast land what I've got showing here. I'm going to bring up Topps website and show you what we got cooking with some of the design, because the design came out earlier this week as well. That's another huge thing. We got to see our first looks of what Series 1 was going to look like.
There was a lot of mixed feelings about the design too.
A lot of mixed feelings. So let me see if I click on this so we can. Okay, here's your information on the pre-order here. As I was saying earlier, 12 p.m. Eastern on the 16th. This traditionally is going to be the best price you can get this at, guys. When this first comes out, if you get it on the pre-order of Topps on Topps website, it's going to be cheaper than if you wait till closer to release day in February, because on the third, blowout cards and Steel City collectibles and such, they're going to be a little bit more expensive. Here we have our first look at an Independence Day parallel, Bryce Harper on the left, and they're also doing, the 35 years of baseball. We're going back to 1989 on this one. I'm guessing this is the red parallel. That's a guess, though. I don't know if that's gonna be how all of them are, or I'm gonna guess that a traditional white border is going to be
Hope
on the
for the
regular
best and
one.
expect the worst.
Yes, yes. So I wanted to scroll through this checklist a little bit here. As I said, we've got Ellie's on there, and this is a great thing to go and look through and study before. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not showing on your screens. Let me bring this up here for you. This is a great thing to go and scroll through and look for when you're buying into breaks and what have you, so you have an idea of what to expect, what teams should cost what if they're doing it by pick your team. And it kind of helps you guess what are the right teams to get. Say if you get into a random break and you're looking to trade for a better team, or if you get into pick your team breaks, what teams you prefer to get. So, I see Quinn
Random
Priester,
question.
the Pirates.
Who's card number 1 this year?
Card number 1, Ronald Acuna Jr.
Good
Very nice.
pick.
MVP, last year's National League MVP, not too shabby there. Rookies. I wanted to show who's my other A's player. Then if I see another one, Grayson. Oh, that's a Future Stars. Sorry, let's see. What do we got for the Braves? AJ Smith here. Grant. There's Ellie. He's going to be card 141. Jacob Amaya for the Miami Marlins, 144. Just one more quick look here. Future Stars, Red Sox.
Brent Rooker's in there for you guys, but he's not a rookie.
I think he's Future Stars. He got the rookie. Oh, he got rookie in 2021, I think. Well, I should have wrote some of these down beforehand. Okay, Tyler Soderstrom. That's the other one for the A's. I was thinking another one that was, back in his Bowman days. That was the one everyone was going for. So two, in my opinion, two decent one for the A's there. But that's, just my A's. And then for Mr. Fuego's Yankees, that Jason Dominguez, I think, is going to be heavily sought after. So 350 card base set. And then we've got the golden mirror image, which, as we
technically, it's not a golden mirror
talked about
image.
last week, I think, or week before. Not really a golden mirror image. It's going to be the same exact image on the card with the borders and wording and all that is just not going to be on there. So they're doing that for every player, every card in the set. It gets golden mirror SSP. And then some other exciting things I saw here. What do we got here? Team color border variation. So that's different. That'll be interesting. So
yeah,
team color border, Ronald Acuna, I'm going to guess either a dark blue or like a wine looking red and such. Doing that for looks like every card in the set as well. So we got the Superstar Blueprint insert that's coming out. 25 cards in that. We've got Grand Gamers, 26 card set. That's going to be a nice insert. Don't have images quite yet for all of these yet, but I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on some things that's coming out. They're doing the greatest hits set. Again, that was a beautiful set in 2022. So we'll see how they do here. The short printed heavy lumbers were really cool last year's set. Back again with 20 cards. And then we got our home field advantage cards again, which not dismay, maybe exciting. I saw Mr. Fuego's got Julio Rodriguez in the home field advantage here, which is going to be his third home field advantage. He's gotten one, every year since he's been in the big leagues. I think the big
Mhm.
one of this year, though, is going to be that Ellie De La Cruz up top. We've got legendary home field advantages, so some retired Hall of Famers. We've got the 89 insert set this year we discussed, and there's more here. Okay, this was another one I hadn't heard about. I think is exciting. Celebration of the Kid inserts, the Ken Griffey Juniors, and there is, if I scroll down more, they do have autograph versions of this. They've got the 2023 All Tops team. That was something that came up on Tops a few months ago, so they're doing a insert set of that, and then that retail exclusive Stars of the MLB that we look so forward to every year. I'm being sarcastic in case you didn't pick up on that. It's just something that you get a lot of those when you get into your retail stuff, and they just get a little cumbersome here. But they got the
Oh
chrome
no, Stars of
ones as
MLB.
well, and home run challenges, and they got media
Media follow back
fallback. They got
redemption
giant
cards.
monster box exclusives. Yes, that's the that came out in Big League last season or something like that, where you can, if you pull that card, then you get that player to follow you on all your social media stuff. Let's see, they've got the 89 Tops foil mega box cards. And then we're getting into a lot more of the really short printed stuff. They're going to get into your cuts, and they've got home sweet home medallion cards that are going to be hobby box, jumbo box exclusives. And major league material cards we're pretty familiar with. 89 and so on and so forth. I would definitely take a look at this at Tops and get a look at it, cut signatures, things of that nature. But if you guys are interested in getting hobby boxes of that, and I'm gonna guess they're probably gonna do blasters on Tops too. But if you're wanting to get some of that, in the pre-order for a good price, be ready to go on the 16th. This what is that? Tuesday or Wednesday? We've got that's going to be Tuesday. So keep in mind that I'm sure the blaster boxes are going to be the same price, about $25, but the jumbos and
The super
hobby
boxes will be in there too, because I just saw on that checklist the companion cards.
Okay, yes, thank you. I'm sorry. Those should be on there as well. So definitely hang out and get in on that deal. So I'm dying to know. Let us know in the chat. Let us know via email, however you want to let us know what you guys think of this set so far. What do you guys think? So you saw the reveal of what the cards look like, Mr. Fuego. What do you think so far? What are your thoughts so far?
I actually like it. I mean, when I first saw Ellie's design, the first thing that came to my mind, and I'm probably gonna get the year mixed up. Don't beat me up about it later. It was the 86 design, but it did throw a little bit of the neon flare to it.
Yeah.
The first thing I did see with the picture, though, I was like, wow, these are going to be almost impossible to gem because of those real thick borders. But then I got into reality and I was like, that's probably just how it looks in the picture. It's probably not going to be that bad in actual product production. But I mean, I do like how a lot of them are team color match as well.
Yeah,
So
I
I
like that
mean,
too.
I get it. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. A lot of people have said they don't like the neon design, and they were nitpicking. How fonts don't go through neon or whatever the case may be. It's something new. It's catchy. And I mean, it's an experiment. That's how I'm looking at it as.
Yeah.
Is this something that we'll likely see or similar to it for series 2, maybe 2025 series 1? We'll see.
Yeah. When I first saw it, I like it so far.
Yeah.
The borders up top, I don't know. I don't think about that. Let's really think about that. I know we like to sometimes get our base rookies graded, but uh big thing people are saying in the comments now, they're already thinking ahead and like it's probably going to look really nice
They're
in
gonna look
chrome.
beautiful in chrome.
I kind of like that fade, the white up to the black, and then we got to see what the Independence Day looks like. I'm so digging that.
Yeah.
I feel like the last couple years of Independence Day haven't been as exciting. Like the last time I remember being really excited about Independence Day was 2019, where you had like the full flag background and stuff. This
Right.
got that whole border, and I do like like you said, the name in neon color match, things of that nature. Um, I'm excited about it. We don't
Yeah.
have to. I think they're trying to do something very fresh, very new. Like they tend to like make these new sets, but they're going back and using an old set's idea, and it's like I feel like this is very fresh, very new. I'm excited for it. Um, I'm excited for Ellie and Jason Dominguez.
Definitely
It makes
Dominguez.
me excited for baseball. I can't wait for baseball, and glad my A's got some good ones coming up, and I don't know why I'm not a huge Ken Griffey collector, but I'm excited that they're doing the Ken Griffey Jr. cards for some reason. I thought that was cool, and
Yeah.
yeah, I can't wait to get some of this in my hands. Definitely definitely digging it. So yeah.
Yes.
So man, 20, well, I guess the 16th we can pre-order, but the 14th of February can't get here fast enough.
Exactly.
It's very, very exciting. So that's what I've got for upcoming. That was all just talking about upcoming releases, guys. Are we ready for some little tiny bit of reviews?
Let's do a little bit of review, just a
Little bit of
smidge.
reviews. So we got to see one video of this before last week's podcast, but a lot more came out this week of the 2023 Bowman Draft Sapphire boxes. Got to see a good rip on Striker. I got to see, and then I started looking at a bunch of random channels because I wanted to see how these boxes were looking, and they're amazing. I've seen amazing stuff. They got the autos in there. They've got the exclusive parallels, and chances are you're going to get extra exclusive color parallel cards.
I've actually seen a Papadopoulos pulled.
Did you see one?
Yeah.
I didn't see the Papadopoulos, but I seen a lot of Paul Skeens autos and Paul Skeens inserts. It seems
I'm already
like.
tired with Skeens.
Yeah. It's a beautiful set. It's super expensive. So I remember when it dropped on Tops, it was like $379, and I was like, oh man, they're raising up them Sapphire. But now I wish I could get some at that price, because now it's over it's over $600 a box, and these are just mega box sizes, so you get like 24 cards out of there. So if you are lucky enough to get some of this, I think you're going to be happy with what you get. Beautiful cards, lots of cool stuff in them. You can't go wrong, other than the price. The price, they're a little pricey for how many cards you get, but that's Sapphire, baby. I watched a lot more Bowman Draft. We watched a Bowman Draft just before we started the podcast today. If you don't, do you mind me sharing that?
Please do.
Okay. Mr. Fuego got into a Leighton's card breaks whole case of Bowman Draft. He just picked up the Yankees. They're inexpensive in draft this year. But man, so whoever that breaker was on Leighton, fastest breaker ever. Like I don't normally say too fast. Usually I feel like breakers need to go a little bit faster. Like, okay, he totally didn't go through the paper at all, which I totally understand, but he was only focusing on the auto or color, really,
the
that
massive
came out of there.
hits. Yeah.
So I was like, I know you got more cards than we realized, because we just couldn't keep up with it. But that guy ripped a whole case of draft in 25 minutes.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Break actually kicked off at 7:15. We was done by like 7:40.
My applause, but that was the first time I was like, man, I wish this guy would slow down. I'm feeling old.
Yeah.
So Bowman Draft, Bowman Sapphire. that's all I've got for the reviews this week. Watched a lot of other stuff that's been out for a while. You said you were watching a case break of Bob
Yeah,
Ross.
so Triple Diamond Sports actually entertained the idea of doing a case break of the Bob Ross set.
Nice. How did that go?
It was pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of color, a lot of variations. Not as many short prints, but when they did show, they were pretty good. So,
Mhm.
it's kind of funny to see a Shohei Ohtani with an afro.
Yeah. Yeah, those are those are cool. Those are cool cards when they throw the afro on them. Today I went on to Striker's channel, just scrolling, and he opened 4 hanger boxes of 2018 update. And before he opened it, he was showing off his some of his graded ones of Juan Soto and Shohei Ohtani and stuff like that. And it was cool to watch because it was, hanger boxes, and in pretty much every box he opened, it had one gold in it,
Yeah.
one rainbow foil, and you're gonna get in some way, shape, or form a Shohei Ohtani, a Ronald Acuna, a Juan Soto. Gleyber Torres was big back then. In one way or another, you were going to get something with some kind of card with those guys on it. So that was exciting. If you guys look back at what 2018.
That class was insane.
Oh my God, it's insane. But what the hanger boxes cost back in 2018 and what they cost now. It's like, man, I wish I would have said. I remember Christmases ago, getting some of that, and I was like, oh, I should. I saved it for maybe like a week, and I was like, man,
Yeah.
I'm opening this stuff and now, but super cool stuff. So, all right, that's what I got for them product reviews. We got some hobby news we got to get into. Y'all ready? Here we go. Okay, guys, hobby news. We'll go through some quick news, real quick news. Okay, unless you're living under a rock in sports card hobby land, LeBron James signed a contract with Fanatics. And I know you guys are like, well, this is a baseball card channel. What are we doing here? What are we talking about? Well, this is a huge deal. We got to bring it up. And with Tom Brady just being in a recent baseball set, it's not too far fetched to think they might try to do something with LeBron James there. LeBron James signing with Fanatics, big deal. He doesn't have a lot of autographs out there, but I have known, on the forums and stuff like that, people are kind of freaking out a little bit, saying sell your LeBron James autos now and stuff like that, because I guess they're worth it, because he doesn't sign a lot.
Because the last time
money.
LeBron actually signed anything was when they still had a thing with Upper Deck.
Yeah. So this is big news in the sports card hobby. Something to be mindful of, keep an eye on, and definitely exciting to see what Fanatics is doing as far as marketing and making big moves, making things exciting. Fanatics is, this is the things they're doing, heading that direction to make, to 10x the hobby, 10x. That's their big thing. So, that was something huge this week. I also wanted to drop, we talked about last week, PSA, doing their monthly special is for modern cards, $14.99 per card, 10 card minimum, $250 declared value. They also put out that you're going to be able to submit your cards on your phone now using their app. So really streamlining things, really making things, more user-friendly, any type of technology, making it, bringing it, moving on up in the world. So that's kind of cool, because I do a lot of grading myself. It's a point to sit down and do all the stuff on my computer. Now I feel like I could take pictures of cards, and then when I'm at work or something, I can go through and start the submitting process, and I'll be able to, it'll help, help me manage my time a little better. Like sitting down at my computer doing a bunch of stuff is can be agonizing. I hate sitting at a computer. So if I'm just chilling somewhere, I can put a couple cards in my submission, get it ready. And when I come home, I just got to print stuff out and make sure I've got everything in order. Not too shabby. All right. What do you want to talk about next?
Well,
Battles?
real quick, just to give everybody an update, with 1 hour and 31 minutes remaining on this Tom Brady Superfractor auction that's going on with Goldin, the highest bid right now is at $158,600.
Dang. What is that going to end at? Man. We also the T206 forger.
That's right.
What was the story with this gentleman?
So this was a case that occurred back in 2019, if I'm not mistaken. And basically, and it makes no sense to me. If you're listening in or if you're in the chat right now, please let us know what you think about this. So this is an individual by the name of Cord Monroe of Girard, Ohio. And basically, he was caught forging T206 cards by putting autographs on them. Okay. I'm going to stop right there for a minute. Let that marinate in your brain housing groups. For those of you who have been in the collecting game longer than a day. Okay. I have never seen a signature on that particular set because at that time, nobody really cared about autographs. Okay. But as of recent, and the article that I'm referencing is from January 8th. Okay, so it's fairly new. And basically, the judge sentenced him as time served already. Okay, he was looking at about 7 years, I think it was. But then at the same time, he was ordered to pay $73,358 in restitution, and he has been sentenced to probation for 5 years, monitored. So he will be required to check in with the probation officer. It can go anywhere from once a week to once a month.
Interesting.
I mean, if you're going to force something, use an actual legitimate set, not something that is older than the art of autographs.
Yeah, really. I know this I guess I don't know, and I obviously don't know a whole lot about T206 except for like the bigs and stuff like that. But that's my immediate thing was like autographs on those. Did they have, I mean, was that a thing back then? So it was just a little surprising. So so the next story I want to talk about is kind of fun little thing that happened up on Instagram and Tops this week. I'm gonna share Tops Instagram right quick. Hopefully you guys will be able to see this this Jackson Holiday card right here. This really awesome Sapphire Selections 1 of 1 Superfractor Jackson Holiday auto. They posted it up on their site this week, kind of talking about Bowman Chrome and stuff. And there was a story broke out. I can't remember whose channel I was watching it on. Maybe Dan the Card Man, something like that. The guy that pulled the redemption of this card has been emailing Tops about it, and it's like, hey, where's my card? It seemed like everything was cool, but then Tops posts it on Instagram, and oh god, it's got to be in here. But the guy was like, comments, and I screenshot it, but I was yeah, well, here's somebody that commented, it's odd you're posting this when it's already been pulled and you guys are telling that you don't know where it's at. So yeah, the guy posted in here somewhere saying, hey, that's my card. I pulled this. I've been emailing you about it. So it was kind of like in the story, and it's like, what is happening here? Man, man, I was just scrolling. I wanted to see if Tops commented at all on that, but
They
you
probably
know,
won't.
when we're hearing about all these backdoored cards and things like that, and with redemptions and stuff, here it is right here. The card exchange 314. That's my card, Tops. Been looking for it. What or WTF? That's all I'm gonna say. So,
Whiskey Tango
so
Foxtrot.
yeah. So there are still things happening. Just to be mindful. There's mistakes are still being made. Cards are being backdoored still. Something this was just kind of funny because this guy's been emailing, pulled it on screen, has the redemption, got the emails at Tops, and then they're saying they're having trouble finding it, and then it gets posted on Instagram.
Yep. New
That's
year,
fun.
same shenanigans.
That's fun. So, we got a couple other things we want to talk about in the news this week. For example, Jeff, our friend Jeff over at Sports Card Investor, did an interview on his it wasn't on Sports Card Investor site. It was on his own, the Jeff Wilson show. He did an interview with Card Collector 2, which has kind of been in the news a lot lately about possibly getting loaded boxes and things of that nature. So Mr. Infuego found this interview, sent it to me, and I watched it. And I was excited. I was like, I wasn't expecting them right off the bat to address it, but I thought they would at least touch base on it, which I was wrong. They were talking a lot about different things going on in his card shop and Jeff's up and coming card shop that's opening at the end of this month. Different things that they're noticing in the hobby, what's hot, what's not. They didn't touch base on the whole loaded box thing at all, which annoys me. But I totally understand it because probably Jeff, I'm going to guess, is going to get loaded boxes when they're doing the Tops release party. When their card shop opens the end of January, at the same time the culture collision's going on. So I just wish that I know these guys want to be positive and don't want to talk about this negative stuff, but the fact that they don't even address it and say this is ridiculous, and
Sounds to me like it's just what I got out of it. And I'm going to go ahead and make it PG-13 based off of our conversation.
Yeah.
Basically, they was just stroking each other's egos.
It really seemed like that. And they were just talking about how in the past couple of years, like, oh, my shop's been doing well. We haven't lost, haven't been losing any money. And, this year was better than that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, you guys are just killing me with.
I mean,
I'm going to get more into it.
We're going to get more into detail with this later on. If we don't have time for it on the podcast, best believe it will be in the after hours show. And I'm taking the gloves off because there's certain segments of that interview that I do want to get the opinions of not only Adrian, but everybody who's going to be in the chat.
100%.
For those of you that's actually listening and you are on par with what's going on with today's hobby and you do follow Sports Card Investor or actually seen the interview yourself, send us an email with your thoughts and comments about it. Let us know what you think about it. And I mean, there's a lot more about this interview that I do want to say, but I'm refraining from how I want to say it due to the platform that we're on now.
Yeah, definitely check us out on the after hour show on Mr. Infuego's channel about half hour after this podcast ends. I just threw up the podcast website. There you can get our email and stuff to contact us. Mr. Infuego's link to the after hour show is in the description. And all these topics that we're talking about tonight, I'm going to put in the description. I don't have them all in there yet, but the Jeff and Card Collector 2's interview, another one, we watched another very new podcast about these two vendors talking, which I'm going to talk about more in banter. We'll get into that about the different topics, different things in the hobby and what have you. And all the other stuff we've been talking about tonight. There's going to be links for that here, but we'll get more down to the nitty gritty in the after hour show as well. Now we're a little bit over that half hour mark. I want to get to our trivia. So you guys saw the new format of the trivia. We're still work in progress, has been improved this week. We're going to do, we noticed today we might do a couple more little improvements on it in 2 weeks, because no Baseball Junkies podcast next Saturday. We're taking a weekend off. We'll be back at it the following weekend. And yeah, let's get to some trivia. You guys get ready to type in the chat, those of you that are hanging out with us here live. But those of you that are listening, we got a new little thing going here. So here we go. Here is trivia.
The Baseball Card Junkies presents Trivia of the Week. Name this player. Featured in the set known as The Monster. Limited print of his card was due to his objection to tobacco. His card became a symbol for its rarity and value within the hobby. Who is it? Hannes Wagner of the T206 set.
All right.
All right. So from what I see, we got Collector's Dream coming in.
Orlando at Collector's Dream got the answer right. We're going to be promoting him on the podcast website this whole week now. And guys, get over and sub to his channel. Let me see if I can get this in the chat for you guys here. Oop. Congratulations. He has a great channel, by the way. So it'll be worth checking out. Thank you, Orlando. And thank you, the rest of you, for guessing, coming in and guessing that. And there we go. I put it in there. All right. In the chat, we've got Orlando's, and I'll end up putting it in the description as well. So, Mr. Fuego actually beat me to it. So even better. All right. All right, guys, we got a top 5 for the week. I'm kind of excited about. It's different. It's exciting. Top 5. This is according to Sports Card Investor. We were just talking about Jeff, but hey, you know, I like this website. I'm not going to lie. I love when they do all the mathematic work for me. Let's take a look at number 5. All right, I've got a little story to go with this top 5 as well. What we just showed was a orange Bowman Chrome Sapphire, Bowman First of Nazir Mueller. This is numbered out 25. This came out of Bowman Draft Sapphire, I believe I said. It looks like get this for about if you can find one. There's only 25 of them. I'll just let Mr. Enfuego say what his recent sale is, and that's the recent sales are, and then I'll let you know what I was
Well, I'm going to tell you like this. There have been no PSA 10 sold up to this point. The last recorded sale occurred, when was it?
I'm showing the 9th.
Yep, that's what I got for $114.39.
Ooh, I'm showing $87 for that one. And I'm showing there another one sold 2 days earlier for $15.
Oh, you know what? I was in the wrong block. My bad.
No worries, no worries.
Yeah, so the most recent one was on the 9th for $87, and on the 7th, a measly $15.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to talk about real quick. This goes back to looking at checklist and looking at, you know, different information on these players. So the $15 sale was somebody that just posted it as a buy it now for $15. And my guess is they didn't know that this Cubs player was like one of the top cards sought after, especially for the Cubs, because he was a pitcher. He saw that it was a pitcher. So, you know, orange, I'd probably get $15 for that. Where the other person did this as an auction, probably 7-day auction, something like that. And bids went up to $87. This is one of the top Cubs prospects out of this product. So that's, you know, something to be mindful of. If you pull cards like this, don't automatically excuse it if it's a pitcher. I know sometimes with pitchers, we're like, oh man, you know, but you know, there are some pitchers that are sought after, especially if they're high up in the draft.
I'm sure you can wait however long you can put it for up on auction, whether it be 3 days, 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
100%.
do your research.
Yeah. I just opened a couple of these sapphire boxes, and then my own personal box I opened. I went through and looked up the values, like recent sales of all of them. And there's another great channel called Let's Talk Wax who does an phenomenal breakdown of Bowman products before they're coming out. Watches statistics and the minors of all these guys, does a spread. He also has a Patreon where if you want to join the Patreon, he gets you spreadsheets and all that stuff. But just watching that YouTube channel alone is worth its weight in gold. So,
And just a reminder, just like the disclaimer in every week podcast that we do, we are not saying the advice that we're giving is just from our perspective.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
In no way we are trying to influence you on how you conduct business in the hobby. You do what you want to do. We're just giving you what both Adrian and I would do if it was us in that situation.
100%. Thank you for that, Mr. Fuego. Let's get to number 4.
We got a Martian sighting.
We're talking about him twice in the podcast. This is awesome. That was the 2020 Bowman Chrome, first Bowman of Jason Dominguez. We've seen a 7-day increase of 29.5%, a 30-day increase of 29.9%. You can get this card raw for about $10 to $15 on eBay.
And the most recent PSA sale occurred yesterday for $86.26.
That's crazy.
And I know his value is gonna go up as we get
Yeah.
closer to opening day and his return.
That $86 sale is actually, why did they do that? That's actually an insert, the spanning the globe.
Is it now?
Yeah, I didn't notice that at first either. It looks like on average the PSA 10s are about $55 to
Yeah.
$40.
So the last sale was $55 on the
Yeah.
11th.
Thinking back, it just, those fond memories of 2020 when cards were insane, and Jason Dominguez was the one to get. This card was hundreds of dollars.
Yes.
So Jason Dominguez up in the Yankees. This is something I don't know. I probably wouldn't buy. I've got some right now, something to consider grade. Hang on. I don't know. If you're a Yankees fan and he comes up and he does well, yeah, this might be something fun to pick up now and pick a couple up. Keep one for your PC. Maybe resell one if the price goes up. Maybe, all maybes, just ideas, not telling you what to do. All right, let's go to number 3. We knew he was going to be in the list at some point, right?
Yeah.
Again, Shohei Ohtani's 2018 Topps Series 2, number 700, his base pitching card. We have seen a 7-day increase of 2.6%, a 30-day decrease of 0.4%. This card raw is about $30 to $35 on eBay.
So it's taking a little hit.
Mhm.
The last PSA 10, well, there was 3 sales that happened on the 11th. On the
Mhm.
low end, it was sold for $125 even, and on the high end, it sold for $155.
Nice. All right, we've been seeing a lot of that card the last several weeks. Let's get to number 2. If you're watching on YouTube with us, you don't need to adjust your screen. That is a 2022 Topps Gilded Collection of Hunter Green rookie card. That card fit in perfectly color-wise with the background we have here on YouTube. So it looked kind of cool, but it also was like, oh, is there something wrong? But anyways, we have seen a 7-day increase of 364.4%. Same for the 30-day. Let's see, raw. If you can find this card raw, looking to be about 40 to $50 for this particular one. That's numbered at a 199.
The last PSA 10 sold on the 1st of October for $42 even.
So not too shabby. Hunter Green, this was his rookie card, up and coming, awesome pitcher, freaking crazy arm, throws mad fastballs. Hey, do you have any top gilded cards in your collection? I can't remember if you got a Julio or not.
I do. I got his rookie from 22, and I just ordered his rookie cup from 23.
Nice. I don't have any gilded yet, but I have it. I've been watching it. I got to get me one of those because that's just a beautiful set.
It is.
All right, guys, last but not least, let's get to number one of the week here. Does that card look familiar to any of you here on YouTube?
Little too familiar.
Too familiar. 2018 Bowman rookie card, base card of Shohei Ohtani. This card has been in the top 5, if not number 1, for the past 5 weeks, I believe.
Yes.
7-day increase of 7.9%, 30-day increase of 34.6%, about $25-$30 raw on eBay.
Well, there was a total of 3 sales that occurred on the 12th. The lowest one for a PSA 10 sold for $139.99. And on the high end, one sold for $142.50.
Crazy. You guys, again, these top 5 I get from Sports Card Investor app. You can download that app for free. Just something to keep in mind. You can go through and look, track, not just baseball, but all sports, what cards are selling, what, this and that. It hooks you up with eBay. I know that they have paid subscriptions too if you wanted more stuff, but I've gotten by just swell with just the free app. But say what we want about Sports Card Investor. They know they put a lot of work in this app. And
I'm a subscriber. I've got their market movers for $9.99 a month.
So, it's not all bad. It's just, discussions with other topics with them. That's all.
Yeah.
All right. So that's our top 5. So that means it's time for our favorite part of the night.
Let's do it.
All right, guys. Where shall we start? The Jeff Wilson and Card Collector 2 interview. I watched it, and maybe it's because I try to watch a lot of different hobby news channels. And, you got one side of the spectrum, Sports Card Radio, Dan the Card Man. And when I say other side of the spectrum, I feel like these guys are just laying out everything that that I like to consider when going to the hobby. And then the other side of it are just, I don't know, the G-rated Disneyland side of things that just
they sugarcoat it.
Just aren't. I don't know. I feel like some of that information could really hurt people if they take it like too seriously or verbatim. Like, for example, Card Collector, where he's located at in Ohio, Cleveland, Cincinnati,
just outside of the city of Cleveland. Yeah,
big college football town. So he was talking about how Bowman Chrome University is huge, and football's big in his shop and different things of that nature. He did talk about how baseball card sales have gone up because it sounded to me, and correct me, or let me know if you think differently, Mr. Puello. He was saying, with the thing with the thing with baseball is they've got a lot of products, and a lot of the products are more affordable, such as like Heritage, high number, regular Heritage, or Pro Debuts.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because all those products that he named happen to be on the low end of the hobby.
Yeah, they're the products. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're like a set collector, this is nice. You can get the hobby boxes really affordable. Hobby boxes will almost near get you the complete set there, and you'll still get an autograph out of them. I mean, and then when you compare it to like, I guess, it's not that I guess, I know big thing in the overall hobby is Panini Prism football came out,
Yeah.
and what are those like $900 for a hobby box? And that was something that they were talking about. They're like, well, you know,
Because the first thing
they were
I
like,
was
oh, the
I was
prices have
watching.
come down, and I'm just like,
Yeah, I mean,
"Ooh,
and kind of piggybacking off of what you said, as
yeah,
I was watching this interview, I like to sharpshoot certain topics or comments that are made in any interview. And the
mhm.
first comment that I wrote in my little composition notebook
Ooh,
is the card market was dropping. And they both agreed to that statement. To me, I had to add to that comment. Is it dropping for you as the flipper / investor, or is it dropping for, your normal diehard hobbyists or your pure collector? Because
yeah,
I mean, for a flipper, yeah, I would agree. You guys are not making the money that you guys were making during the pandemic, doing all this stuff from home and everything like that. But it was great for us, especially me,
yeah.
you know. I
So,
mean, I'm not that inclined to it, but I just learned during the pandemic about breaks, dealing with eBay and all this other stuff. So for me, let the market stay where it was at. As
yeah,
of right now, for a collector, the hobby of baseball and the prices associated with the products are not where they should be or where they were at one point.
mhm. So, I'm glad we're talking about this now because I sometimes when we're texting each other um, back and forth, things get lost in translation, you know?
Mhm.
I think, uh, the card market dollar-wise uh, dollar-wise is down, but I'm wondering if quantity-wise, I imagine it's not down. It's gotta be up. Why are they printing so much more stuff? So I think those guys they're not making the money they were. 2020 was ridiculous, and now things are awesome for the collector, are getting awesome. Now, not always. Some of the big boys are still making big boy big boy money, which is kind of, how it's supposed to be, like those really low number stuff, you want those see those going for a good price because 'cause they're rare and they're valuable, but, and they were just talking about, like, "Oh, make mo" I don't know, it just seems so, like, unauthentic and just so like, "Oh, well, my business is doing fine, and, no, your business, you should do this, and, oh, Pokemon and you gotta put those in your store because yeah, and which we do I think we both agreed, like, we should be collecting Pokemon cards because that's where you're gonna make your money
Exactly.
if you're trying to make
Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Lorcana,
yeah.
they came
So,
out throwing
yeah,
haymakers.
yeah. I just, um I just scored, an awesome card this week on eBay. I'm pumped about for, uh, for a cool $45. That's including it was $40 plus $5 shipping. I got a PSA 10 Esther Ruiz, uh, Chrome Auto, and, I was looking, there's another YouTuber, Nikki 2 times, that he's asked me for Ruiz every day. I was like, "Why don't I have more of his nice cards?" And I go, and he's like, "His cards are cheap." And I'm like, "Ooh, this is low key who I wanna pick up because he was good last year, and I see him doing some more crazy stolen base stuff. This is just I'm not none of my Ruizes are for sale. I'm not pumping or dumping anything. They're none for sale, none for sale. I'm not trying to pump or dump, but I'm just saying, for $40, I was doing the math. I was like, if I buy this card raw, which they were going for about 15, $20, this was just the base Chromato.
Mhm.
Even with the deal right now, $15 a card,
You're still going
then
over
with
40
shipping
bucks.
I can't really buy it raw. I can't do a cheaper deal on that. So to get one that's already graded a 10, I'm
Yep.
pumped. So, um, there's little things like that. Now, Mr. Fuegos for just his Julios. I know you can find a lot every now and then some cool A-Rod stuff that you can get for good prices. There's some autos of him that are up there, but to get something low key with that and get it graded and turn, I mean, it's a good deal. It's cool
Definitely.
stuff. So, what else you got for the banter? Boss?
Well, I mean, we
Oh
can.
my God, I forgot to talk about the Leighton's incentive that you told me about.
Okay,
Talk about
yeah.
that one.
So, I actually got the details here because I'm a subscribe member of their little Gold Club or whatnot.
Mhm.
So, Leighton Sports Cards is actually doing something which is really unheard of amongst all the other big breakers. So, if you plan on getting into a break with Leighton Sports Cards while they're on the Fanatics app, they put out an incentive. So basically, they're going to be opening up a variety of sports, and any one of one that is pulled during that live stream, whoever bought into that particular team will receive a $500 break credit with Leighton. But wait, there's more. Not only will the owner of that team win $500 in break credit, they will random off an additional $500 of break credit to somebody in the chat.
That's pretty cool. That's a cool thing to do in the hobby. Now let's make I know we've talked about this and that with Leighton before, but if they're doing that, that's super cool. As long as they get their stuff, as long as the person that wins gets their stuff, person in the chat.
Yes.
My brother-in-law had two things happen this week that I wanted to share with you guys. So my brother-in-law he's one of the late night, like whatnot crackheads I want to talk about. I'm just messing with you, brother-in-law. Don't get mad. But he was on VIP Rips. And they've been in the news in the past for shenanigans in the hobby on whatnot. So he got in a break. They were doing giveaways. He won a card. He won a nice, I think it was a Juan Soto autograph. And let me just make sure. Oh, yeah. Number 25, Juan Soto, defining season 2019. Show it more to you in the after hour show today. So he got his cards from the break. That card wasn't in there. So emails back and forth, and he didn't give up, and it took forever. He's like, his comment was, I won this card on VIP Rips. They sent it to someone else in the break. Does this sound familiar? I feel like this is something that they've done before, and it's like, did they really send it to somebody else in the break? Or I don't know. They told him that. And then he's like, it took about a month, but they eventually tracked it down and sent it to me. Nothing else included in their mistake. No message. They didn't message him. Nothing. They just just showed up one day because he just kept consistently checking in with them about it. He said, needless to say, he won't be using their services again. So VIP Rips on whatnot. This is not the first person that has told me a story like this with VIP Rips. And I don't know if you guys remember YouTuber Bad Box. I know he had a same kind of issue with these guys. Well, his issue was not getting cards he actually got in his break. So something to be mindful there. Also, another thing happened to my brother-in-law that was interesting this week. He contacted me because he was doing a lot of one-day auctions on eBay, and he had two different Sal Stewart autograph cards on there. 24 hours, they both sold at the same time, and he accidentally switched them, sent them to the wrong people. He contacted him right away and let him know. And he's like, oh, this is the first time that they were not the same exact Sal Stewart, but they were similar. He's like, this is the first time I'm going to get a comeback from the authentication process. So that'll be interesting. And I was like, oh, well, send it back to you, and they'll automatically credit the seller back. So it's nothing to worry about. You just got to wait. You've communicated to the buyers and stuff. So, and I said credit back the seller. I meant credit back the buyer. So, anyways, they authenticated the wrong card. so the guy's getting the card, but he knows what the two guys involved that were everybody was cool and all that. But this was a graded card. PSA 10, I believe it was. Yeah. And I don't know if they just saw that it was a graded card and just whatever, didn't even look at it, but they authenticated the wrong card. It passed authentication. So I've heard a lot of things passing authentication that shouldn't, and a lot of things that should pass authentication that do. So just keeping that out there. Yeah. Fun stuff. I can't wait for the after hour show. What you
Definitely.
got, Paddle? We're a little bit over an hour now, so
Yep, we are a little bit over, so I'm going to save everything for the after hours.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us here on the podcast. Thank you for listening to us on your favorite podcast format. Head over to Mr. Enfuego's channel in about 30 minutes here. We're going to hang out. We're going to really get down and dirty with these topics that we were talking about tonight.
And if you can't find me on YouTube, Adrian has put the link to the live stream in her description. So we will see you there in 30 minutes.
Yeah. And I want shout out to those of you hanging out with us on YouTube tonight. We were just over about 30 people all night. Thank you guys for being here, hitting that like button. And I can't wait to talk to you more one-on-one in the after hour show. Have a great night, y'all.